When we think of royal jewels, we picture them exactly where they belong, glittering under chandeliers at state banquets, resting in museum cases, passed ceremoniously from one generation to the next. But what about the ones that aren't there anymore? Queen Mary was perhaps the greatest royal jewelry collector of the 20th century. She didn't just wear jewels, she transformed them, reimagined them, made them tell new stories. The tiara one year could become something entirely different the next. She was an artist, and her canvas was diamonds, sapphires, and pearls. We know the pieces that survived, the ones still worn at coronations and weddings. But today we're not talking about those. We're talking about the ghosts. 5 extraordinary pieces from Queen Mary's collection. Each one tells a different story of disappearance. Some were sold in secret, others scattered across continents. One hasn't been seen in over 60 years. Another sleeps, forgotten, waiting for someone to wake it. These aren't just missing jewels. They're mysteries. And some of them have answers that will genuinely surprise you. This is the story of what happens when even a queen can't control forever. Let's begin. Number 1. The amethyst parure. Our first piece has a history stretching back 2.5 centuries, beginning with Queen Charlotte, wife of King George III. Deep purple stones surrounded by diamonds. A complete set, tiara, necklace, bracelets, brooches worth an estimated $2 to $3 million today. After Queen Charlotte's death, these amethysts journeyed through European royal houses before landing with the young Duchess of York in the 1890s, the woman who would become Queen Mary. She wore it proudly in her early years, then set it aside for decades before rediscovering it in the 1930s and 40s. Then Queen Mary died in 1953, and the story gets murky. The parure was inherited by someone, possibly the Queen Mother, possibly Princess Margaret, but they never wore it publicly. The provenance suddenly goes dark. For decades, complete silence. Until the 1980s, when it resurfaced at an auction house. Someone had quietly decided to sell. But here's the twist. In 2007, the amethyst necklace was spotted at a gala worn by Anna Wintour, editor of Vogue. The tiara is still missing. But that necklace proved that even when a royal jewel leaves the family, its story continues in the most unexpected ways. Number 2. The Cambridge sapphire parure. If the amethyst parure tells a story of mystery, the Cambridge sapphire parure tells one of heartbreaking loss. This was a magnificent suite worth approximately $5 to $7 million. Tiara, necklaces, brooches, bracelets. Everything in sapphires and diamonds. It originated with Princess Augusta of Hesse Castle in the early 1800s, passed to her daughter, and eventually reached Queen Mary in 1916. She reconfigured it to match her vision, then gave the entire set to Princess Marina of Greece in 1934 as a wedding gift. Princess Marina adored these sapphires. For decades, they defined her elegant style. But after her death in 1968, everything changed. The parure passed to her son, the Duke of Kent, and financial pressures forced difficult decisions. The original spectacular tiara was sold first. Then, over the years, more pieces quietly disappeared. The necklace, the stomacher, likely others. A complete suite that had been together for over a century was now scattered to private collections worldwide. What remains intact today? That's the haunting question. A parure that witnessed 2 centuries of royal history, now broken apart, its pieces telling separate stories we'll likely never fully know. Number 3. The sapphire sunray bandeau. A delicate tiara valued around $800,000 to $1.2 million with a sunray pattern of diamonds radiating from a central sapphire. Here's what makes it fascinating. Respected historians theorize it once belonged to Dowager Empress Marie Fyodorovna of Russia. If true, this is a Romanov survivor that escaped after the empire fell. What we know for certain, Queen Mary wore it, then passed it to the Queen Mother, who never wore it publicly. Instead, it became Princess Margaret's signature piece throughout the 1950s and early 60s. She wore it everywhere: Caribbean tours, state visits, formal events. And then, after the early 1960s, it vanished completely. For over 60 years, not a single sighting. Not at auction, not in vault inventories, not on another royal. Nothing. We last saw it on one of the most photographed women in the world, and then absolute silence. Was it sold privately? Sitting forgotten in the vaults? Given away outside the main line? Nobody knows. And that's what makes this one of the most tantalizing mysteries in the entire collection. A tiara possibly from the Russian imperial court, worn by a princess who defined an era, now missing for over half a century. Number 4. The Tech Crescent Tiara. Not every missing jewel is lost. Sometimes they're just sleeping. The Tech Crescent tiara, worth approximately $400,000 to $600,000, has one of the most direct connections to Queen Mary. Her mother, Princess Mary Adelaide, created it using inherited diamonds, 3 wild diamond roses nestled among diamond crescents that can face forward or backward. After Mary Adelaide's death, Queen Mary inherited it, then passed it to the Queen Mother, who wore it occasionally before World War II. After her death, it went to Queen Elizabeth II, who made it available to the now Queen Camilla. And here's where we are today. The tiara sits in the royal collection, available to be worn, but Queen Camilla hasn't chosen it publicly. At least not yet. It's not lost, not sold, not scattered. Just sleeping. Will it ever wake up? Will there be an occasion special enough for this piece to return after all these years? Unlike the mysteries we may never solve, this one could be resolved any day. All it takes is one royal decision, one special event, one tiara chosen from the vault. The Tech Crescent isn't lost. It's just waiting. Number 5. The Tech Diamond Hoop Necklace. Our final piece is a jewel with a secret talent. Complete transformation. The Tech Diamond Hoop Necklace, valued at $1 to $1.5 million, dates to the mid-19th century. 22 interlocking diamond hoops, each with a larger center diamond. Bold but graceful. Queen Mary's mother wore it as a necklace, a tiara, even pinned to her dress. Queen Mary inherited it, passed it to the Queen Mother, who also wore it both ways, as jewelry and as a low-profile tiara for theater evenings. In 1960, it went to Princess Margaret as a wedding gift. For her, it was always a necklace, worn throughout the 60s and beyond with grand tiaras, framing her face beautifully. After Margaret's death in 2002, here's where the story diverges. It wasn't sold, wasn't returned to the main collection. Instead, it passed to her son, David Armstrong Jones, the 2nd Earl of Snowdon, where it remains in his private collection today. This is rare. A court jewel worn by queens and princesses for over a century that's made the complete transition from public royal property to private family heirloom. Will we see it again? Possibly. But for now, it's retired from public life. Not lost, not scattered, not sleeping. Simply private. After over 150 years in the spotlight, perhaps it's earned that rest. 5 jewels. 5 completely different fates. 1 sold and scattered. 1 heartbreakingly broken apart. 1 vanished completely. 1 sleeping. And 1 quietly retired. Queen Mary shaped the British royal collection for a century, but she couldn't control what happened after. And that's what makes these stories so compelling. These jewels lived, transformed, traveled, disappeared, and were rediscovered. The jewels at state banquets today tell a story of tradition preserved. But these 5 tell a different story, that royal collections are living things, constantly changing in ways we can't predict. Some mysteries may never be solved, but that uncertainty keeps us looking, questioning, piecing together these incredible histories. If you've enjoyed exploring these mysteries, hit that like button and subscribe. There are so many more stories waiting, jewels with secrets, pieces with surprising journeys, treasures that deserve remembering. Thank you for joining me through Queen Mary's Shadow Collection. Until next time, keep looking for the stories that hide between what we know and what we've forgotten.